In this video, we're going to take a look at a feature within ARCHICAD that allows you to import and use standard steel column or beam profiles localized for 32 different national standards across the world. This is a really useful feature, especially if you work regularly with structural steel components or if you exchange data with structural software using IFC. As I mentioned, there are the 32 localized national standards, and within them there is access to a variety of different geometry types or profile types. To access this, all we do is go to the Options menu, Complex Profiles, and then Import Standard Steel Profile. This then shows the Standard Steel Profile database, and to start off with, we are looking at the Eurocode. This happens to be the default or the last country code used. So what we can do is pick from the 32 different standards and choose the one that's most appropriate. So even if we're working out with your home country, you may still be able to find something. In this case, I want US Imperial. And when I pick this, you'll see the names here change to the US national standard types. We have a variety of different geometry types. Here we are on I or H section. We have C or U-shaped, T-shaped, L-shaped, rectangular, and circular hollow. And you'll see that as I change, this graphic updates and shows the relevant points for key dimensions. So if we go back to T-shape, again you can see it's updated. And what I'll do is I'll switch back to the I or H shape. The actual profile we're looking for here is W6X12, and you'll see if I go through this list, it's a big list, it may take some time to find things, but what we can do is actually list by these various column headings. So we can group by name, we can group by the dimensions, so if we know, for example, that this depth is 6 or 12 or whatever it is, then we can use this and we can scroll through the list ordered in that way. In this case, I'm going to use name, and I'm just going to scroll down until I find W6X12. There we go. So we pick it up, and what I can do just now is tell it to add this profile to the project. So we simply click, and that adds it in. We've not physically imported yet, so it's not technically part of the project yet, but we're about to do that. Prior to that though, I'm going to select it here, and we're going to apply an appropriate building material. So I'm going to choose metal steel. I'm almost finished, but there is one last thing to point out here. If I've brought across the wrong profile or too many profiles, we do have an option here to remove from this list prior to importing into the project and creating it as a full complex profile. So once I'm happy with the list, all I do is hit import, and that's it, ready to go. To actually use the profile, what we do is we go to the beam or the column tool. We set up all the regular parameters in the normal way, so the heights, the position to project zeros, the floor plan and section, whatever we have to do there. But to actually use the profile I've imported, what we need to do is come up here and change the structure type to complex profile. Once that's selected, I then have access to this flyout, and what this does is show the available complex profiles in this project. So we have a custom, we have a column or beam that was introduced earlier, and here we have the one that we've just imported. So I literally click, that's now selected, the sizes are set, all we do then is OK, and we're ready to place the column. So we could go drop one down just randomly right here. We'll take this and maybe we'll do a move and multiply, and let's spread them at, let's do 6 foot increments from there until we get fed up over here. If we look at 3D with just that selection, when we zoom in closely, orbit around slightly, you can see that profile as it's applied to the column.